Hello everyone, I'm silentdeth and welcome to Season 3 of Let's Play Distant Worlds Universe. There's been a few changes in the mods between seasons, so let's look at that first. We are using Chrome Blue, the UI mod, or most of it anyway. Distant Worlds Extended Universe mod that adds a whole bunch of different races. Distant Worlds Pirates in Ships, which is just a few different icons like this for the pirates. Explosions, HD Explosions mod. The Graphical Improvement 2.4 mod. And the Graphical Improvement mod Ship Markings for Extended Universe. Select parts of the Stuff and Bits mod, which is quite similar to the Graphical Improvement mod. The Graphical Improvement mod improves like various parts of the game, like planets and stuff, and so does the Stuff and Bits mod, including some really good planetary backgrounds and things. The Stuff and Bits mod also has a UI, which I'm not using most of it. I'm using the Chrome Blue for most of that, though I have overwritten most of the stuff in the Graphical Improvement mod with the Stuff and Bits parts that were there anyway. And finally, the biggest change is going to be the Extended AI Improvement mod, or the AI Improvement mod for the Extended Universe. The AI Improvement mod changes a number of things, such as rebalances weapons, changes a couple of tech trees. It also changes the default designs of basically everyone and their standoff orders and things of that nature. It changes their research priorities and a whole bunch of other stuff, which we'll probably see more when we get into the game. So we're going to go ahead and start a new game. And we'll go ahead and do the Standard Empire. Custom game is a Standard Empire. So we're going with a regular shaped galaxy this time. The 1400 stars, so maximum amount of stars and maximum amount of sectors. So the biggest map possible. We're going to be doing pre-warp again because I really enjoy starting at pre-warp. We're going to bump up the aggression. I'm kind of flipping the coin between these two, but I think we'll just go with Restless for now. We did normal last time, so Restless should help with that. The AI Improvement mod does increase the racial bias, how much a race hates its, like humans hate insectoids and insectoids like other insectoids. Those kind of things are boosted a little bit. That's going to be boosted in the hate department by this. Difficulty, we're going to be starting as normal, but we're going to have difficulty scales as player nears victory this time. Mostly because the difficulty nerfs the growth rate of colonies, which is not something that I like. It makes it a little bit harder to get off her feet, or get on her feet, or whatever the word phrase is thing. Going to be doing expensive research again, due to the size of the galaxy, of course. Space creatures, I'm a little bit on the fence about these. I don't like space creatures in general, as they serve as a purely artificial roadblock to exploration. However, they also kind of combat pirates at the beginning of the game. Though I think the brief usefulness is not worth the continued annoyance. So we're going to go with no space creatures. Pirates. I'm told that having more pirates is actually easier than having fewer pirates, simply because they're all competing for the same amount of resources. Thus, they can't build as strong. So we're going to do mini pirates, or very many pirates, and we're going to make them distant. Hopefully it'll take a little bit longer for them to get to our pre-warp civilizations that way. We'll leave them on normal strength, and we'll destroy pirates who not respond. We'll keep that checked. So then we'll go to colonization and territory. We're going to do something a bit different here this time. We're going to have the minimum colonization range, default influence range, and maximum amount of colonies or colonizable planets, and alien life. That's just to have a place that races can conquer if they don't have any colonies available in their influence or in their colonization range to keep them from getting stuck. This will allow us to have very densely populated empires rather than the big sprawling type empires we had last season. Hopefully that will help improve the AI's defensive nature, while also allowing the more aggressive AIs to conquer their weaker opponents and thus grow stronger. It'll also, with the increased restlessness, allow more wars to happen, and once a single war happens, so that a race captures a planet of another race, it's going to be so close to their other planets that it's going to continue to foster more and more wars between those two races. It needs to go up 1 more %. There we go. Okay. Next, we're going to go to our race. I mentioned last time the various things that I was considering, or the last episode of last season, the various things I was considering for a race this season. And I've been kind of on the fence about a number of choices. There's just so much information between them to pick. So I just kind of narrowed it down to one stat and picked the races with the highest intelligence factor. So we're going to go through those and look at all of them. There aren't that many. So the Entons are first up. They are continental, which is something we want. They have a good reproduction rate. They have a spy bonus and a scientist bonus. Both of those are quite good. They get, or their victory conditions are highest number of successful intelligence missions, explore the entire galaxy, perform the most research, and spend the least time at war in the galaxy. And they get, this is part of the AI improvement mod, this colonization bonus. So, high or a fast colonization research on continental planets, faster on marshy planets as well, slow on ocean and ice, and very slow on volcanic. On continental, they get a bonus of construction speed, and oceans and volcanic have negative. They also get the extra intelligence agent, more likely to generate new scientists, and more likely to generate intelligence characters. They also get a special technology, the Disbelief Mask, which is a stealth technology, which is okay, not great, and they get a larger military ship size bonus. That's actually pretty good. That being said, I think this race is a little bit too similar to humans that we played last season, so we're going to pass on them for this season. The next contestant is the Kaiden. They have a slightly lower reproduction rate, but they are also continental, which means they have the same colonization bonuses. They have a research bonus of 20% and a ship maintenance bonus of 10%, which probably equates to something like a total income bonus of something between 5 and 7%. Given that somewhere between 50 and 70% of our income is going to be spent on ships. I get a few bonuses from resources, and their victory conditions are have the longest lasting mutual defense pact, break the fewest treaties, perform the most research, and have the longest lasting free trade agreement. I've already went over that. their characters, they are less likely to generate a troop general characters, which is not something that I really consider a negative, because we were getting rid of dozens of those at the end of last season. More likely to generate new scientist characters, which is good, and more likely to generate new intelligence agent characters, which is also good. Though they do not have the additional intelligence agents bonus thing. They do have the special technology Shadow Ghost ECM, which countermeasures. It's also extremely good. It's probably one of the best, if not the best, racial tech. It starts out at, I believe, 40% countermeasure boost, and then upgrades from there, while normal countermeasures start at 10% and upgrade from there. So that means that you basically have a 30% bonus to the difficulty to kill all of your ships right off the bat without having to pay anything extra for them. Or, well, not much extra anyway. The next choice is Lemurs. You'll notice that these guys are extremely intelligent, and these guys are only very intelligent. However, the difference between these two is very, very small, less than 2%. It's just that these cross over that extremely intelligent threshold. They're at the very, very bottom of the extremely intelligent threshold. The difference between them is the Kaidans have an intelligence number or stat is 128, while these are 130, compared to humans, which I believe is 110. And something else I forgot to mention, the troop strength of the previous two races is roughly halfway between humans and Boskarans. So they have better troop strengths than we had last episode, but not exceptional, but still pretty good. On to the Lemurs. So they have that. Their victory conditions are start the fewest wars, have the fewest treaties, control 33% of all ocean colonies, and destroy 3 times more enemy ships and bases than you lose. They have the kind of ocean research bonuses and building construction bonuses. They do have an extra intelligence agent, and are less likely to generate ambassadors by 40%, which is not a huge deal either. You really only need maybe one good ambassador. They do get a special technology, super lasers with super beam weapons, which I think is the planet destroyer weapon. They get larger military ships by 20%, but a 10% penalty in construction rate. Due to the difference, oh yeah, and their troops are pretty weak. About, I think it's 15% weaker than the humans. Given that their actual intelligence is not that different from Kaidans, and they only have ocean planets, I don't think they're as good as a race as they initially appear by looking at the extremely intelligent stat, if you actually look into the numbers. So we're not going to be choosing those. And the final contestant is the Quaimno. They, unfortunately, also have an ocean planet. They have a really low growth rate, which, combined with the ocean planet, is not a good thing. They have a huge bonus to scientists, and while they're extremely intelligent as well, their intelligence is another 10% above and beyond the Kaidans. Not the Kaidans, but the Lemurs. And the Kaidans, really. Plus, they get another 40% research bonus on top of that. In addition to that research bonus, they get the technocracy government, which we look at it, gives you a 50% research bonus on top of their 40% research bonus and their extremely intelligent stat. So they would be very, very high research rate thing. The downside is that they don't have this approval bonus or the income bonus that you would get from democracy, which is going to mean they're not going to have very large fleets. Though the fleets that I will have will be pretty freaking advanced. I am very tempted to choose this race. They also have the Nova Core reactor, which I'm not really sure which one it is. I think it's one of the fusion power racial reactors. I'm pretty sure it is anyway. It's a pretty good reactor compared to the vanilla reactors, and it will take less time to research them, but it's not going to be a huge boost right off the bat. For the character traits, they have the Ambassador bonus, a negative penalty to fleet admirals, a negative penalty to troop generals, a huge bonus to scientists, 60%, and their ambassadors get a bonus starting trait, which is okay, I guess. Again, we really only need one ambassador. So really tempted to choose this race. Even though they're ocean colonization, given their research speed, they could research the continental colonization one pretty quickly, even at 100% normal cost. And there's no construction penalty on those planets. So that would also offset that some. They could also research a number of wonders much faster than anyone else, which would offset pretty much everything. So very tempted to choose this race. The downside is they have the weakest troops of all the guys that we've looked at. Roughly 25% less than humans. So really bad troops. And their low population growth rate is not a good thing either. Though what I think I'm going to choose this time is the Cadence. Quite possibly we'll choose the Quamo, however they pronounce that name. I don't remember what it was anyway. The Quamo. Guys, next time, and maybe I will figure out how to pronounce their name. But yeah, we're going to do Cadence. And who are we going to pick for our race? Let's be something. I probably should do a custom thing at some point, but I was too lazy to do that this time. I think we'll just go with, I don't know. I think we went with this one last time. Let's go with this one actually. That looks fine. Galaxy starting location can be random because everything's split out. And the name. I haven't thought about a name. Government, we're going to be democracy. Corruption level is going to be low. Tech level is pre-warp. Size is starting, I guess. Home system is going to be excellent due to the pre-warp starting condition. What should we choose for the Empire name? Let me think about this for a moment. I think we'll just let the game generate a random name for us and maybe change that later. If you have a suggestion for a name, leave it in the comments. So, other starting empires, we're actually going to bump this up quite a lot, given how we've done the colonization range. We can pack a whole bunch more empires into the same size map. So I think we're actually going to go up to we decreased it by 4, so if we went up to, say, 44 would be the equivalent of that, but that wouldn't leave very much range. So maybe 30 empires. And we're going to turn off the allow independent colonies to grow up, because they really are not anything more than a speed bump when they do that. They don't compete with the true galaxy powers. And victory conditions, we're going to use similar ones to last time. 50% on... Actually, it was 50% on economy, wasn't it? That's kind of the biggest thing. We'll leave that at 80%. Given that we have more races this time, we'll be able to conquer more and actually beat up more people before we actually win the game. We're leaving on the story events. We're going to turn on the time limit. No, not that time limit, but this time limit. Victory conditions apply after so many years. Not that that's really going to matter too much. So all the story events are going to be on. Tech trading, I'm actually going to turn it off given the amount of stuff, the amount of people we're going to have in this game. Having tech trading on would probably not be a good idea. Techs would be flying all over the place. We'll also turn off allow the giant Kaltors. A little bit on the fence about tech trading though, given that you can't retrade techs. But I think I'll leave it off, just to try it out this season. Okay, we'll start the game and let me pause the recording while it generates the map. We're back. Our name that has been chosen for us is the Gaiden Alliance. Again, if you have a better name, leave it in the comments. We're a democracy. We have one colony and one system. Our victory conditions. You are a standard empire in the Age of Shadows. Pirates, smugglers, and mercenaries rule the galaxy. Your empire is largely undeveloped with no space technology. Before you can take to the stars, you must first research critical technology like hyperdrive and colonization. Meanwhile, pirates and others retain these key technologies and thus dominate galactic affairs. As a fledgling stellar nation, you must develop the technologies you need while manipulating pirates and smugglers to work for you. And a few tips about what to do. So we're paused, I believe. We are now, anyway. We have a little continental planet there. Let's check our system. Guess we don't know much about it. I think we may need to adjust some of the settings in our files because that doesn't look quite right. Barren Rock, yeah, I think the shadows are off on that. A scenery bonus from another Barren Rock. Another continental planet. 72% colony, not great, but not terrible either. Yet another Barren Rock. A third continental planet with 87% quality, so quite good. A desert planet with 24% quality, so not good. With a destroyer here. And also, of course, some ruins. A couple of gas giants. And another ship here, which is a frigate. Abandoned and not destroyed, so we need to grab that soon. Let's go ahead and set up our empire policy, which I'm hoping will remember the things from last time. Free trade agreement, very high. Mutual defense priority is high. It's only going to suggest free trade agreements. I'm not going to have it suggest those. Diplomacy, we'll control that manually. Control manually the gifts. Trade with other empires. Control restricted resource priority, very high. Tourism priority is going to be probably high. Exploration priority is, of course, very high too. Intelligence missions suggest offensive missions, and we'll only want the still research ones. And anytime. And it can suggest sabotage when we're at war. Colonization we'll control manually. I don't think this should be very high. So we'll put that normal. Planets with ruins, very high, yes. Okay, we could do that. I might set that up after we get some construction done. I probably should have done that before. Default colony policy, assimilate, assimilate. I like assimilate. These allow building of the fortified bunker. Don't automate those. Allow building of cloning facility. Yes. Actually, no, we'll let that should be manually. Armored factory should also be manually. The defensive one should be good. We're going to make that manual. Spy Academy and Science Academy we will have suggest on. Terraforming facility will make that manual, and regional capital will have that like that. 500 million, I think we're going to want that to be 2 billion. Troop Academy, so we don't have that one on, so does it matter? This should probably be a little bit higher. Like, say, 5 billion. Armored factory, yes, I'll leave that. Planetary shield, that's good. That is good. That's good too. Spy academies, actually probably want more of those, so we'll go with 2 billion. Science academies, actually I want go with 2 billion there too. Terraforming and regional capitals, that's good. We'll let that be controlled manually. Tax rates 0, 0, and high is how we want it. Fully automated. Increase taxes when at war, that's a good thing. Research, so we want research priority is, I guess, normal for the Kazakh controls where they build those where automated constructors build the research spaces. So put that down to low. Overall focused, balanced. Area focused, balanced. Torpedoes, not missiles, because having those two are dumb. So let's say torpedoes, fighters, then shields, and what else can we have? Hyperdrives, we'll leave countermeasures on. And maybe assault pilots. I'm not going to turn that on. Automatically upgrade fighters is going to be on. I think we'll leave this. We'll leave the colony ship. We'll probably come back and change that after it builds the first one. We'll let it build the first one of those too. Construction ship will let it build the first of those, and the spaceports, which will come back and manually do that. Actually, all of these. Defensive bases, freighters, we'll let them start out on that. Passenger ships too. And the stations as well. Construction is going to be controlled manually, so I don't need to worry about that. I'm going to control this manually, I think, since we're going to probably be absorbing some independent colonies and using their troops instead of our own. Hopefully. Use bombardments. Never. And never. We're also going to be controlling this manually, but never. 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 Also never. Battle caution, very high. Shields at 50%. That's what we want. Yeah, I'll keep that. Build planet destroyers when able. Sure, I'll turn that on too. Just in case we want to use them. Boarding and capture. Always capture. Capture target bases. Always capture. Enlist military, I'm going to say always enlist, since I will be manually destroying those, since that doesn't always work like I want it to. I think there's been a change between when this was done and they changed something about how the disassembly works. And we'll always disassemble. For tech and resources. Upgrade, no, don't upgrade. We'll say never enlist, always disassemble, and always disassemble, and don't upgrade. And always enlist the bases. Fleet formation is going to be manual. We will apply this policy. Possibly I'll save it if I remember. I think we're actually going to end this episode here, and next time we'll talk about... Wow, that's a big map. So we're kind of in the center, it looks like. Next time we'll talk about research, was what I was going to say. So if you don't know anybody, what kind of characters do we have though? We get a leader. She's not a great leader. We get a spy, which apparently has an espionage trait, which is pretty good. And we get a scientist. Really good scientist, in fact. Really, really good. Excellent. Creative, patriot. That is really, really good scientist to start out with. Yep, we'll finish this next episode. So like if you like, subscribe if you're not, leave a comment if you have anything to say. I do read all the comments. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time!